After getting out of $166,000 of non-mortgage debt and doing multiple side hustles, this is the process I took in order to stop side hustling and pivot into a different space. So even if you are still side hustling or haven't even started your debt-free journey, here are 5 tips that I've taken in order to pivot into a different space. When we were getting out of debt, side hustling definitely helped move us towards our debt-free journey. However, once we started to have children and I needed to be home more, it became more difficult. However, we still needed to be mindful of our journey into debt freedom. Side hustling was so important for us in order to get out of debt and move towards financial freedom. However, once we started having children, it was way more difficult because I wanted to be more present at home and wanted to be able to help my wife throughout these changes. My web design journey started at a failed attempt to become a licensed educational psychologist. Because this interest in web design, I ended up enrolling myself into a UI UX design program, and it changed the trajectory of where we were headed at that point. Going into the design world was definitely a difficult challenge and an awesome experience. However, there was multiple steps that I needed to take in order to be successful at pivoting into a different space. Due to its flexibility in when I could work, either before or after work, weekends, or when I'm off, it's really nice to be able to have that flexibility, and it definitely worked and was more realistic for us. So here are 5 practical steps that I took in order to pivot into a different space. First step, trust building. I told my wife that I would be willing to work whatever side hustle that I can get in order to move forward into our debt-free journey. And so I did. So when I presented her with the ability to go into a user experience, user interface design program, she was all for it because she knew that I would hustle and that I had a plan and that I would be able to move forward and attain the goals that we had for our marriage and family. That trust that she had for me and that encouragement that she gave me was what I needed. And so I moved forward with going into that design bootcamp. I told her that when I was behind a computer that I would be working and developing skills in order to improve in this area. So she watched me go through this process and really get into the design field and learn UX UI design, learn a little bit of coding and Webflow and what it took in order to build digital products for people. And she saw me put in the hours, and she knew that I was serious about this path that I had taken, and she was in full support with it. And it was definitely encouraging for me to have that, and for her to see that this wasn't just something that I was playing around with, but that I was invested and that I was determined to pivot into a different space. Building that trust with her was essential for us, and it definitely was encouraging to hear those words from her. Second step is invest in yourself. The boot camp that I joined was 9 months long, and this was 9 months of going deep into design, learning a little bit of coding, learning web design, learning typography and color palettes and how they all combined. And it was just a whole lot of information in 9 months, and it was definitely fun for me, but it was overwhelming at times. But thankfully, I got through it, and 9 months was too fast, and so I was able to learn a significant amount of the design space. But it didn't stop there. I entered multiple different programs to level up in my design, to learn different software, to really dig deep into Webflow and figure out, how I'm able to produce customized websites. And so I continued to invest in myself, and that was definitely important for me if I wanted to pivot into a different space. Because I was new to the field of design, I was humbled immediately. There were so many great designers that I was able to communicate with and get feedback from. And this just humbled me and helped me to realize that this was going to be a journey. It was going to be a marathon to level up step by step. And so I was definitely blessed to have some really good people around me. And the design world has, for me, been very welcoming and forgiving when I'm showing my projects. And it's just been a great space to be a part of. And so I'm so thankful that I took that journey. Third step is to clearly package your skill set, your knowledge, and your talents. After the 9 months in the boot camp, I was then able to put myself out there, build a portfolio, and Upwork, Fiverr definitely helped with this. And one thing that was very helpful was being able to effectively communicate the skills that I brought in from school psychology into web design. Being able to communicate these skills and package them in a way where clients were able to see the skill set that I offered them, not just being able to build a website, but also the soft skills that came with that was essential to building my portfolio. Being able to effectively communicate and package my skill set was definitely helpful because I landed my first client, which was awesome. My wife was able to see that, yes, this was a profitable space for me. And also I was able to buy a laptop and update what I had, and which was has been significantly helpful through this time. Landing that first client was awesome because it gave us some hope. It gave us some assurance that we made this decision that was beneficial, and it was positive. So it was definitely a huge encouragement, and I definitely needed it at the time. Fourth step is defining your boundaries. When I'm behind my computer designing something, I am always surprised how fast time flies. And so because of this, I had to put up some boundaries and communicate with my wife to figure out, okay, what are some times that I'm able to work that work with our schedule, and what is realistic for us. So for me, I find myself designing before work, after work, and then even late into the night. When I have to just get some things done, it does create more of a time crunch, and I do have to be mindful of communicating with my wife, but setting up those boundaries first has definitely helped us because it gives us realistic expectations on what we can do as a design agency, and what we're willing to give up in order to progress in this area. Now, I think this step is definitely different for everyone, but it has been incredibly helpful for us because we were able to communicate through this. And then I find myself always checking in with my wife. And now this step is very important for us. And I also find myself checking in with my wife periodically just to see, how our boundaries are. Am I overworking, or is there a better time that I could do this or that? And so that has definitely helped us move into this design space. And I know that for me, knowing when it's appropriate for us to go above and beyond, that definitely helps me because it gives me a clear schedule to be able to lay out what I need to get done during those times. And so our ongoing communication has helped create those boundaries. And the fifth thing is identify your why. When we first got married, we knew we wanted to get out of debt. And through the debt-free journey, we found building a legacy to be something amazing to strive for. And so because of that, our why is to build a legacy for our family so that our children, and hopefully we get to see our children's children, are able to move into what God has called them to do, and using their skill sets and their talents. And that is an incredible goal of ours to be able to accomplish. And so legacy building is why we do what we do. And so because of our why, we're able to communicate, we're able to work hard, and think about what is going to progress us into that goal that we have in mind for our family. There are times when I feel like there's no forward momentum in our design agency. However, I stay grounded by my why. And so that helps me to move forward, to push past those feelings or thoughts that I have, and It's definitely blessed us to be able to focus back on our why and then progress and move forward and gain momentum that way. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you gained some insights, please like this video, and then also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So, question of the day: if you desire to pivot into a different career field, what steps do you need to take today in order to make that happen? Thank you for watching this video. If you gained some insights, like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.